Do you think the lost THX text trailers were over and done with? Nope, there are more. I never expected to see more lost THX trailers after seeing the first 4. I can't stop thinking about that awful memory, it can't leave me alone. It was the day after my birthday. I was on my iPhone playing some gacha club. Just then, my mom came home from work and told me she found a never-before-seen Toy Story and THX crossover DVD. I took a good look at the DVD. It consisted of Woody, Buzz, Bo Peep and Jessie staring directly into the camera, while Zurg and Tex are in the background. It was labeled as THX, Tex and Zurg. Looks interesting. I thought to myself. My mom was kind enough to find an extremely rare DVD like that. Once she left to visit her friend, I decided to test the DVD. I put the disc straight into the portable DVD player, ready to watch a never-before-seen trailer. The DVD opened with the Walt Disney Home Entertainment logo, then it cut straight to the DVD menu. The DVD menu looked really great to look at. It consisted of the Toy Story characters and text in colored boxes. There were 4 menu buttons: play, visit Pixar, subtitles and DVD credits. I hit play so I can watch it. Just then, a warning came up. This trailer was made all the way back in October of 2002 for the release of The Ring, despite not being THX certified. Later in 2005, this trailer was re-released in cinemas on September 6, 2005 until December 26, 2005 for horror movies in honor of the 10th anniversary of Toy Story. Also, this trailer must not be viewed by minors due to the nature of this trailer. Viewer discretion. Oh man. I said, face-bombing. Here I go again. The trailer started in a city at night. It showed an aerial shot of the city, then another with a view of an empty building. Just then, Zurg and Tex walked in.
Are you ready, Zurg?
Tex asked.
I certainly am, Tex.
Zurg answered. Zurg and Tex got their weapons ready. Tex held his chainsaw and Zurg held his iron blaster. 4 people were in a room. They resembled Woody, Buzz, Jessie and Bo Peep's voice actors, Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack and Annie Potts.
So, do you recall hearing the news about this crazy robot recently?
The man resembling Hanks asked.
Nope. Never heard of him.
The woman resembling Potts replied.
I did. He has murdered hundreds of innocent people. Somebody has to stop him.
Replied the man resembling Allen.
Do you get the feeling we're being watched?
Asked the woman resembling Cusack.
Yep, you certainly do.
Tex said off screen. The 4 people then looked at the doorway, and Tex was standing in there.
Are you ready to have lots of fun with the T-Man tonight?
No.
Said the man resembling Hanks. Zurg then appeared beside Tex.
Don't forget about me.
The 4 people exchanged glances and quickly evacuated from the room.
Hey, where are you all going? You haven't seen the T-Man's magic tricks yet.
Tex called. Zurg said.
We'll show them. Come on.
The 2 killers then chased after the 4 people through a dark hallway. They laughed madly as they pointed their weapons towards the people. It showed a shot of Tex running the nearest, grinning stupidly, while Zurg was racing from behind. Zurg's eyes and teeth were glowing in the dark, which is kind of a good effect. As Tex's face got the closest, he suggested that he and Zurg should swap weapons. Zurg agreed to this and the 2 continued chasing the 4 people. The 4 people found themselves in a mall, which they unexpectedly barged into.
What do we do now?
The man resembling Allen asked.
Oh, Hanksies. We're still here.
Tex cooed. The 4 people looked back, and Tex and Zurg were standing from a distance.
Let's go to Bluey Zurgils.
Affirmative.
Tex then started blasting Zurg's iron blaster around the entire hallway, trying to not shoot his aide, who is running towards the people. Tex laughed like crazy as he abused the power of Zurg's blaster, and right before Zurg was about to kill the man resembling Tom Hanks with Tex's chainsaw, it cut to a shot of the building, with the people screaming. All I could hear was blood splattering, the chainsaw, Zurg's iron blaster, the evil laughter of Zurg and Tex and the people's blood-curdling screams. What the hell am I watching? I asked myself in a low monotone. Just then, the scene faded to black. But the trailer wasn't over yet. It showed a shot of the logo, until Woody, Buzz, Bo Peep and Jessie walked into the shot.
I'm not so sure about this, Woody. Why did you plan to take us here in the first place?
Bo Peep asked.
He wanted to take us to the hideout of the crazy robot who murdered lots of people.
Jesse responded.
Woody, now that you took us here, can we please go back to Andy's house?
I have a feeling that this robot works for Zurg.
Buzz stated. Woody reassured everyone that everything will be okay.
Don't worry, guys. As long as nobody tries to kill us, we'll be all right. If you meet somebody, I'm here for you. But aside from that, I doubt that Zurg would even...
Just then, Woody's sentence was interrupted by faint chuckling. The four toys started to get scared.
Do you hear that?
Jesse asked fearfully.
Just so you hear what Woody's saying, everything is going to be alright.
Buzz told Jesse, trying to reassure her. They heard the same chuckle again. Bo Peep then pointed her crook, waiting to perform self-defense on her enemy.
I think Jesse is right. I hear that.
Just then, Tex dropped down in front of the four toys. Woody jumped back in shock. Moments later, Zurg appeared from the shadows, with his sinister low-pitched laugh.
Hello, toys.
Tex said, chuckling again.
Tex.
Woody asked in confusion.
Zurg!
Buzz angrily berated.
It is I and be Lightyear. It is I, Zurg.
Zurg responded.
What are you four lost little toys doing in my hideout?
Tex asked. Woody and Buzz walked towards Tex and Zurg to confront them.
Your red robot have done such awful things to those people. Murdering them all because they were afraid of a certain logo. That is no excuse to kill somebody.
Buzz spoke.
Boss is right.
Woody spoke also, joining the conversation.
You and Zurg have no remorse for murdering those innocent people. We are going to have to notify the authorities and have you two executed.
Zurg chuckled.
Really? I am evil, and Tex has fallen into the dark side and he and I are now partners. We have a thing in common, and that is, we are both associated with androids.
Do you two think you are strong enough to defeat us? I don't think so.
Tex said tauntingly. Woody clenched his fist, and Buzz angrily grimaced. Buzz walked up towards Zurg. As he was about to throw a punch, Tex swung his mallet towards him, sending him flying into the air.
Buzz!
Woody shouted. Buzz landed onto the ground. He realized he lost his leg. Bo Peep gasped and Jesse said.
No!
Zurg rolled up to Buzz.
It's over, Lightyear. I have won for real.
Zurg mockingly said. Buzz then retorted.
Zurg, if you ever destroy me, my friends will destroy you too.
Zurg, offended, pointed his blaster at Buzz and shot his other leg.
No, not my other leg.
Buzz shouted in horror.
Tex, finish the job.
Zurg called, snapping his fingers. Tex then walked from behind, laughing stupidly.
Let's give good old Buzzy a smashy rashy.
Tex shouted with encouragement. Tex then began smashing Buzz with his mallet, laughing maniacally. Buzz then screamed as his plastic was being dented and destroyed. He continued screaming until his head was fully destroyed. Woody, Bo and Jesse gasped in horror as they stared at Buzz's corpse.
No!
Woody shouted. Bo Peep gasped.
Buzz!
Jesse cried. Tex then chuckled again and said.
Which toy should the team man play with first?
Zurg then nodded in agreement. The three remaining toys then exchanged nervous looks until Woody shouted.
Run!
Woody, Jesse and Bo ran from the two criminals.
Let's get them.
Zurg shouted, pointing to the toys. Tex turned on his jetpack and followed them, while Zurg rolled from behind. Woody, Bo and Jesse ran for their lives, until Jesse tripped over.
Jesse, get up.
Bo Peep called out.
Come on, we have to get out of here!
Woody called too. As Jesse was about to get up, a cardboard box then fell on top of her. Jesse was trapped inside of the box. She started hearing shadowy scary voices and she started hallucinating the walls closing in on her. She began to hyperventilate.
I'm in the box?
Jesse began to panic. Just then, she began to pound on the box, screaming for her life.
Help! Woody! Bo! Help me!
Just then, Tex teleported inside the box.
Hey there, cowgirl.
Tex said, grinning wildly. Jesse gasped loudly.
What are you gonna do?
Jesse asked in fear.
Don't worry, your little toy life is going to end painless and softly.
Tex replied.
You two leave her alone.
Woody angrily shouted. Tex heard from inside of the box. He then said,
Zurg, ignite the box.
At your service.
Zurg said, on top of the box. Zurg was holding a small ounce of gas and a lit match. He then poured the gas over the top of the box and dropped the match, causing a fire. Tex teleported out of the box and Zurg jumped off of the box, and the two began to laugh loudly. As the box started burning, Jessie screamed in a blood-curdling tone, as if her actress, Joan Cusack, was in agony.
Jessie, no!
Woody shouted in horror, watching his friend get burnt alive. Jessie continued screaming, as if showed a shot of her plastic melting. Just then, she fainted and stopped screaming. Tex kicked the box aside, and it showed the most heartbreaking scene in this trailer. Jessie was burnt, she was covered in soot, her fabric and hat were charred, and her face was smoky and supposedly melted. Holy crap. I said under my breath. Poor Jessie. Woody and Bo stared at Jessie's burnt corpse, before the former broke the silence.
Bo, we gotta get out of here now!
Woody reminded. The two remaining toys then ran for it again. At that moment, Zurg's ion blaster pellets then made contact with Bo Peep's legs, disintegrating them.
Bo, no!
Woody cried. Bo then started to say her dying words.
Woody, please go without me. Run for your life.
Woody nodded, complied and made a run for it. Tex then smashed Bo Peep's porcelain body with his mallet. Woody continued running from the THX hideout, looking back at Zurg and Tex.
Come back here, cowboy.
Tex called from the distance. Woody ignored Tex and continued running. He then found a hallway and hid behind a bench. He sat down to catch breath. As Woody continued breathing, he heard Tex and Zurg enter the room.
Oh, cowboy. Where are you?
Tex cooed.
Come out, wherever you are.
Zurg joined in. Woody toned down his panting so they can't hear him. Tex then put on his sensibility to calculate where Woody is.
Hey, Zurg, I think I know where Pride is.
Tex reminded. Woody widened his eyes in shock. They knew where he was hiding.
Well, I'll be waiting back at the logo.
Zurg responded. It showed a shot of Woody in the shadows. Just then, Tex teleported in front of him.
Peekaboo.
Tex said. Woody gasped and screamed at the same time in shock.
Looks like Sexy Texy is going to play with a little cowboy doll tonight.
Tex said sinisterly and comedically. Woody attempted to make another run for his life, but Tex then grabbed him by the waist and the two flew into the air. Woody began screaming as Tex held him as he flew towards the THX logo. Tex hovered in the air, holding Woody by the arm.
Ready to enjoy your fall, Pride?
No, put me down properly.
Woody angrily responded. Tex then said.
Okay.
He let go of Woody, leaving him to plummet. Woody screamed, falling from a great height, before hitting the ground. He got back on his rear, and spotted Zurg next to him, who is pointing his ion blaster towards him. Just then, Tex dropped down next to him too.
It's the end for you, Pride.
Zurg evilly taunted.
No, please don't hurt me.
Woody pleaded.
Too bad, Sheriff.
Tex responded. Tex then proceeded to grab a chainsaw from his belt and sawed both of Woody's arms off, while Zurg then shot his legs off. Woody gasped, looking at his arms that were sawed off, lying next to him. Woody was shocked at first, but then angrily yelled at Tex and Zurg.
What have you done? This is why you two are killing machines. Damn you to hell.
Zurg and Tex moved towards Woody and stared down at him.
You're right, Pride. We are killing machines.
Tex responded.
Thank you so much for the compliment.
Zurg remarked. Tex and Zurg then started to talk at the same time.
Get ready for your circle of life to end, cowboy.
The two killers then held up their weapons and closed in on Woody, with their shadows only being shown as Woody watched in horror. Tex started hammering Woody's voice box, while Zurg is blasting at it. The criminals began laughing while doing it. Woody screamed again, but in agony as his voice box was getting damaged. The screen then cut to black. But once again, the trailer wasn't over yet. It showed a shot of an abandoned mall.
Is anybody here?
Said a young child's voice echoing. Just then, a familiar child walked in, and it was Andy, the owner of Buzz and Woody. Andy looked afraid as he saw the destroyed property and the bodies of the 4 people. Why is he visiting a mall at night unsupervised? Wouldn't his mother be worried sick? Andy later went up the escalator to investigate what else happened. As he continued to look around, a shadow then cut through a wall in the background, then the scene started to glow in a shade of dark red. We then heard the same chuckle Tex made earlier.
Who's here?
Andy asked fearfully.
Hello? Anybody?
Just then, he saw 2 grimdark faces through a broken glass door. They were Zurg and Tex.
Hey Sparky,
Tex mocked.
where's your mommy?
Andy gasped in shock.
Don't worry, my child.
Zurg responded.
We're only going to make your death painless.
Just then, the 2 criminals then charged up towards Andy. Andy ran away screaming, running down the escalator. As he was about to reach the door, Tex then grabbed him by the arm.
Help! Someone!
Andy screamed, his voice echoing in the mall. Tex then pushed Andy onto the floor. Andy cried with realistic sobs, and he started shedding tears. Tex got his chainsaw started up and raised it in the air to kill him.
Please, don't kill me.
Andy spoke, through his sobs.
It's time to say goodbye to Tex the T-Rex.
Tex shouted, before laughing maniacally.
Tex, wait. Don't kill him.
Zurg interrupted, stopping Tex. Andy sighed in relief. He thought he was free to go. Zurg then remarked.
I will make his death painless.
What?
Andy shouted in horror. Zurg then pointed his blaster at the boy.
Don't be afraid, my child. This won't hurt instantly.
Just then, Zurg pulled the trigger and shot his bullets at Andy. Right before the pellets were about to make contact with Andy's face, the screen cut to black, with Andy screaming. Just then, it faded to a scene of a wide shot of the THX logo in a dark background. We even heard the chorus of people screaming for the deep note, mostly common with women's screams and children's cries. What the hell? I said under my breath. The deep note went for 10 seconds until Tex and Zurg dropped down onto the ground.
Peekaboo yours,
said Tex.
Tex has a new partner, and that is me, Emperor Zurg.
Zurg remarked. Tex then said.
That's right, Zurg and I are like brothers. We have a habit of conquering the world, and we will never ever give up.
If you are ever afraid of either THX, Tex or me, we will destroy you.
Zurg added.
Have a good night.
Tex said in a sinister monotone, before holding Zurg by the arms and flying away, both laughing evilly. Then, it showed the old THX slogan, "The audience is listening," but with Zurg and Tex faintly noticeable in the black background. As this screen was displayed, I can hear Zurg's laughter. It then faded out. Just when I thought the DVD was over, a close-up of Tex's blood-stained face appeared on the screen with a woman screaming in the background, which scared the crap out of me. Just then, it took me back to the DVD menu, meaning that the DVD ended. That was the weirdest crap I have seen for today. I got up from my bed and texted my mom about the DVD. When she got home, I showed her the footage and she was appalled. I managed to record the footage and grab a few screenshots before my mom burned the DVD. That night, I had nightmares of Tex and Zurg killing me the same ways they killed the 4 toys, beating me with a mallet, burning me alive inside of a box, and sawing my arms off. I didn't watch another Toy Story movie again. This is why you probably shouldn't associate with THX anymore. Just my advice. Tex looks creepy and normal on the outside, but inside, he is a killing machine.